Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Fernavi Star Wars. By now, I'm sure most of you have seen Star Wars The Last Jedi, and if not, I really encourage everybody to do it. It's a phenomenal film, and it deserves at least everybody to see it one time, if not more than once. I needed to see it a second time just to be able to wrap my mind around it. Now, in this video, I am going to be discussing some major spoilers, so spoiler warning if you haven't seen Star Wars The Last Jedi. Now, in order to be able to explain this, I am going to be first discussing The Force Awakens, because in order to discuss this, we have to go back in order to move forward. So in The Force Awakens, we learned that Kylo Ren destroyed Luke's Jedi Temple. However, in The Last Jedi, we learned what actually transpired. Luke states that in a moment of fear, he saw darkness within Ben. Ben had dark side tendencies, so as Ben was sleeping one night, he looked into his mind and saw that he was destined for terrible things, and it was in that moment that Luke decided he was going to kill his nephew. Now, if you're like me, you probably are having a really hard time accepting the fact that Luke would ever do this, and for good reason. It just seems so out of character, especially when you take into consideration that Luke did everything that he could to save his father and redeem his father, Darth Vader, but he just wouldn't do the same for his nephew, Ben Solo. But what if Snoke was influencing both Luke and Ben? Now, before you say that this is a stretch and that that's not possible, that wouldn't happen, we have to go directly to the novelization of The Force Awakens itself. Now, why, you might ask? Well, it's because there we actually see just how powerful Supreme Leader Snoke is, and we also saw how powerful he was in The Last Jedi, but this gives us our first glimpse into the power of Supreme Leader Snoke. So let's go to page 253, because we see the influence of Supreme Leader Snoke reach Rey. So I'm going to go ahead and read it word for word, verbatim. It says, "He was up again in an instant," and this is referring to Kylo, "but not in time to fully deflect a following blow from Rey's weapon. He succeeding in blocking it, but he still took the full force of the strike against the haft of his own lightsaber. The weapon went flying into the snow. Unarmed, he raised a hand and utilized the force to fend off one slashing blow after another until finally her fury penetrated his remaining defenses. Taking a glancing blow to the head and chest, he went down. A prominent burn slashed across his face. Weakened, he reached out toward his lightsaber, trying to draw it to him. One downward cut she saw, one quick, final strike, and she could kill him. The landing lights of a shuttle appeared in the distance, coming over the trees in her direction. She had to make a decision now. Kill him, a voice inside of her said. It was amorphous, unidentifiable, raw, pure, vengeful emotion. So easy, she told herself. So quick. She recoiled from it, from the dark side. So, that voice, the voice inside of her head to tell her to kill Kylo Ren, was Supreme Leader Snoke. It was that dark side energy, that dark side that she had to recoil from. Now, what is it that we learned in The Last Jedi? We learned a great deal. We learned in The Last Jedi how powerful Supreme Leader Snoke was. We learned that he was able to go from across the galaxy and move General Hux around and slam him to the floor. But we also learned something extremely important from Supreme Leader Snoke. He said, and I quote, "Darkness rises and light to meet it. The Force balances itself." Now think. What was going on while Luke was training Ben Solo? He had a Jedi temple. There was an influx of the light. So now, take what Supreme Leader Snoke said and reverse it. Light rises and dark to meet it. So Snoke was obviously way more powerful at this time. So what if Snoke was so powerful that he was influencing both Ben and Luke, and even before Luke could kill him, Snoke suddenly stopped influencing him, and then Snoke woke up Ben, and this way he was able to see what his uncle was about to do. And this way the betrayal and the turn of Ben to Kylo Ren would this way be complete. Now, of course, in order to confirm this theory, we would need to wait for the novelization, but this quite possibly could also happen in Episode 9, where they dive into this theory as well, which is over 750 days away. But if this did happen, I could totally be sold on the fact that Luke wanting to kill Ben would have happened because of this, but who knows? What do you guys think? Is this a reach? Am I looking too much into this? I think this is definitely plausible and definitely interesting, and this is why I'm making this video. Now, I do want to give credit to the Lanesman, if I'm not mistaken. He was the one that gave me the idea for this video when he made a comment on my previous video of why people hate Star Wars The Last Jedi. So I do want to give credit where credit is due, and I want to say thanks, man. You rock. I really appreciate it. And if you guys have any ideas for any videos, any theories, or anything like that, I want to say, please make a comment. Go ahead and put it in the comment section below, and who knows, maybe your comment can become a video. Well, that's all for now, my friends. For Navi Star Wars out, and may the Force be with you always.